Blizzard is not short on Christmas spirit. I'm Andy the Palm Springs linguist here at the Cabazon dinosaurs,
where Mr. Rex is wearing his Santa Claus suit to kick off a very special episode of the Palm Springs Linguist.
Join me as I explore the Wildlights Christmas event at the Living Desert, then finish off the evening with a stroll down Candy Cane Lane in Cathedral City. All the while counting down my Christmas wish list for the English language.
The English language is a very strong system for communication, but there are some linguistic features that are stronger in other languages. As an English speaker, here is my Christmas wish list for the English language. Number 7 on my wish list for the English language, Clusivity. We're going to Disneyland to celebrate New Year's. This statement leaves the burning question, when you said we, were you including me? Am I going to Disneyland? This pronoun we is ambiguous in English. In many world languages such as Vietnamese, Tagalog, and Hawaiian, there would be no confusion because these languages have two separate pronouns for we, an inclusive we that is used to refer to the speaker, the listener, and possibly other people, and an exclusive we that refers to the speaker and other people, but not the listener. This distinction would come in handy and make a great Christmas gift for the English language. Number 6 on my wish list for the English language, pronoun dropping. One present I'd love to give the English language is pronoun dropping. Pronoun dropping is when a language allows you to omit a pronoun, often the subject, whenever the pronoun is easily inferred. Pronoun dropping is allowed in many world languages, such as Japanese, Korean, Greek, Polish, Italian, Swahili, and Spanish. The list goes on and on. Pronoun dropping is definitely a toy that many of the neighbor kids already have. With the exception of commands, a complete sentence or clause in English requires that you explicitly state both a subject and a predicate. A subject is required even when it adds zero meaning. Let's examine the sentence, "It is snowing on Mount San Jacinto." The subject pronoun it carries no meaning whatsoever. This would be a perfect opportunity for pronoun dropping. Is snowing on Mount San Jacinto. Now let's look at a sentence from comedian George Carlin. The main reason Santa is so jolly is because he knows where all the bad girls live. Both the content and the verb inflection z makes it perfectly clear what the subject of the second clause is. If English had pronoun dropping, we could skip over the he by more efficiently saying, the main reason Santa is so jolly is because knows where all the bad girls live. While skipping over an easily inferred pronoun may not have saved substantial time within a single sentence, imagine how much time we could save over the course of a long conversation. Yes, pronoun dropping. Add it to the wish list. Number 5 on my wish list for the English language, sentence initial punctuation. I want an official Red Ryder carbine action 200 shot range model air rifle. Oh, I didn't see the exclamation mark. Let me try to read that sentence again. I want an official Red Ryder carbine action 200 shot range model air rifle. Have you ever read aloud a sentence in English all the way to the end before you saw that it ended in an exclamation mark? Then you realized that you should have read it with some excitement in your voice? Well, the Spanish language has a solution. Spanish uses an inverted exclamation mark at the beginning of an exclamation, not just the end. They also use an inverted question mark at the beginning of a question. That way you know right from the beginning of a sentence what intonation and volume to use while reading. Granted, the Spanish language has a greater need for the inverted sentence initial question mark because in Spanish the word order for a statement and a yes-no question are often the same. ¿Quiere más ponche de huevo? ¿Quiere más ponche de huevo? The syntax of English sentences makes it obvious right from the beginning of the sentence whether it is a statement or a question. He wants more eggnog. Does he want more eggnog? So this means an inverted sentence initial question mark is not as necessary in English as it is in Spanish. Nevertheless, English could definitely benefit from an inverted sentence initial exclamation mark, and that's why sentence initial punctuation is on our Christmas wish list for English. Number 4 on my wish list for the English language, a neutral equivalent to generic you. One thing I learned from drinking is that if you ever go Christmas caroling, you should go with a group of people, and also go in mid-December. Louis' comment is not directed at you specifically. He doesn't even know you. He is referring to a person in general. The English pronoun you can mean 3 different things: second person singular, second person plural, or a person in general. This can lead to confusion. English actually does have an alternative that can clear it up, the pronoun one. One thing I learned from drinking is that if one ever goes Christmas caroling, one should go with a group of people and also go in mid-December. The problem is that this pronoun one is often considered super formal, so it is rarely used. The French translation of one, on, is used in all registers, from super formal to super casual. That is what English needs, an equivalent to the generic you that can be used in all registers. Number 3 on my wish list for the English language, a demonym for just the United States. A demonym is a word that denotes someone from a specific place. Mexican is the demonym for Mexico, Japanese is the demonym for Japan, and Dutch is the demonym for the Netherlands. But what is the demonym for the United States of America? Wait for it. American. The problem is that Brazilians are also Americans because they come from South America. Canadians are also Americans because they come from North America. Santa, if you're listening, us English-speaking Americans, the ones who live in the United States, we would like to have our own distinct demonym that makes it clear that not only do we live in North America, but we live specifically in the United States of America. Ironically, the Spanish language has such a word, estadounidense. Perhaps we can all just make one up and start using it. What do you think of United Statesian? Or would you prefer United Stateser? Let me know what demonym you think Americans from the United States should use in the comment section below. Number 2 on my wish list for the English language, a second person plural pronoun. You is an overworked pronoun doing multiple jobs. Most European languages have separate second person pronouns for singular and plural. For example, Spanish has tú for singular and ustedes for plural. English used to make this distinction. The pronoun thou was singular and you used to be exclusively plural, but that distinction was lost many years ago, and now you carries the weight of both singular and plural. American Southern English has a solution with y'all. But what is on my Christmas wish list for the English language is a consistent single word second person pronoun that can be used to refer to a group of people across all dialects. Number 1 on my wish list for the English language, spelling reform. The basic building blocks of a language are its sounds, which linguists call phonemes. Depending on the dialect, English has 44 phonemes, but only 26 letters. So English spelling is set up for complexity right from the start. To add to that, English spelling is a hodgepodge of words from other languages that have largely kept their original spellings intact. While it would be amazing to have a transparent spelling system, such as Spanish, in which one consistent letter or a consistent combination of letters represents one phoneme, the undesirable result would be that each dialect would end up having different spelling systems to reflect different pronunciations. However, I do think that strategic spelling reform would be beneficial. To do it right, it would take a team of linguists with representatives from each major dialect working together to create reform that all dialects can support. Each potential change would need to be viewed as an improvement by all dialects. If a proposed change would improve spelling for one dialect but complicates another, then that change would not move forward. One of the basic goals would be to narrow down the possible spellings of a phoneme to as few as possible. Currently, the V sound is spelled VE at the end of a word, but V in all other settings. This could easily be made consistent. The K sound has many spellings. The letter Q could easily be replaced by other letters to reduce complexity. The F sound also has many spellings, but could easily be reduced down to a single spelling. While there are many potential spelling reforms and some cases of redundancy, the current spellings should stay intact. For example, the words cot and cot. In my dialect of Western American English, these words sound exactly the same. But in some other dialects, they have different vowel sounds. So in an effort to keep English text accessible to speakers of all dialects, not every proposed reform should move forward. Which of these proposed changes to English do you think would improve the language? Put your answer in the comment section below. In the spirit of Christmas, give yourself the gift of watching future episodes of the Palm Springs Linguist by clicking subscribe right now.
This has been my Christmas wish list for the English language, and we've been enjoying the Christmas lights at the Wildlights event at the Living Desert. A great way to kick off the Christmas season. But stay tuned, because we're going to head down to Cathedral City to Candy Cane Lane to enjoy some more Christmas lights. Merry Christmas, everybody.